I've talked to so many. I talked to so many people this week on Twitter, and they're just like, "Well, if the intern gets the job done, if the intern gets their fingers in the right position," I'm like, "Holy shit, people!"
So what you're implying is that the intern running the controls is like a man trying to find the. Never mind.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, no, no. It's if you
You
can't find it, I
clearly
can't. If you can't find it, you know. I was going to say if you can't find it, I can't tell you, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
mm,
Men can't find something unless you tell them where it is, ladies. Where are my
the next.
keys?
It doesn't matter. The one thing I'm
Just
thinking of
tell
is
them.
you can tell me where it is. You could show me where it is. It just moves the next week or the next time.
Well,
You
just
know,
put your keys in the same place all the time, and that way you won't have to ask me where it is, where they are.
I do put my keys in the same spot, except for that.
Do you?
Well, if she wants me to put it somewhere else, I'll put my keys somewhere else. What are you nodding your head like
Keys,
that for?
keys, phone, glasses. Do you know where my glasses are? I'm
Are
like,
you actually
I don't
talking about
know.
keys and
I've got.
glasses?
Yes,
Oh, I thought we were talking about euphemisms.
that too.
Well,
But
mhm.
it applies. It's a very broad statement. It's like
Yes, women,
sometimes
broad.
ladies, yes, sometimes ladies, we have to tell them where things are in order for men to find them. Doesn't matter what it is. Keys, wallet, phone,
And when we
glasses.
and when we do find it, stop switching the combination.
Well, if you want your password to remain secure, surely you have to change it every so often.
Then write it down somewhere. Don't.
No, that defeats the purpose of it being a safe and secure password.
So frustrating. So
Oh,
frustrating.
I don't even know. This chair is so uncomfortable. I told my
You're
husband
not.
that I wanted to get like an actual desk chair for the seat that I'm in right now.
Be thankful you're not the person with the bruises on his back.
Well, that's because I'm smart enough to know that I should not be participating in activities that I really shouldn't be involved
I'm having
in.
fun. It's actually a good time.
I'm sure you're having a great time, which is good. That's what you wanted to do in the first place, right?
I took a couple moves this week. I took a snap mare where I got flipped over someone's head. That
Oh,
was fun. I was impressed.
all right. Well,
So was my trainer.
very
He's
good.
like, "You actually flipped in midair." I'm like, "Yes, I did." He's like, "You landed very nicely." I'm like, "I did, and I didn't hurt myself."
Oh, I was going to say, were you feeling it later?
I just have some bruises where getting ready for bed that night. My wife's like, "Look at my back," and it looks like I'm, Wesley from the oh, what was that called? From in it underneath the tree, the pit of despair. It looks like I've been through the
Yeah,
pit of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
despair. Yeah, I have some
I was
lines
trying
where the
to
cable's
figure
gone
out
across my
which
back a couple
Wesley you were
times.
referring to.
What other Wesley is there?
Shut up, Wesley from Star Trek. What was it? Next Generation.
Oh
Will
yes, shut up,
Wheaton.
Wesley. Yes,
There
Doc loved him.
you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, he also loved Alyssa Milano cookies. So it's a different kind of love.
Yeah, I got shot into the turnbuckle. I took a couple moves.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I do? I flipped a couple times. That was a lot of fun.
Mm.
So, and
I'm
this
glad
week
things are doing well.
we go off the top rope.
So when do you have your first official match?
8 months to a year. I am
Oh,
nowhere near ready yet.
wow.
No, 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 no.
Wow. I thought
Yeah,
it would be like a 6 to 8 month period. Like a 6 to 8 month period.
6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 months, 6 to 8 always being the case. That's what I tell people about everything. Oh yeah, you'll be getting that check in 6 to 8 days.
No, no. I'm probably about a year to 8 months out, maybe.
Better for you to get this kind of training now and do like a lot of mock matches, with different people, in the sense like physically different people, different styles that those people will approach, so that you kind of get that knowledge and you can even build your own persona based on what other people do.
Oh my God. So the one kid who has adopted me as his father,
Uh-huh.
barely, since I'm the oldest kid in the class, they refer to me
Hmm.
as a kid. So it's kind of funny, but they've all adopted me as, dad. It's
You
kind of
are the
fun.
dad.
That's how they refer, they kind of address me as such. They're very nice. I'm like, it's been a great time. I have a lot of fun.
Hmm.
So the one kid that I came in with is about 120 pounds dripping wet, maybe about 5'9". He is a skinny
What I
Maddie.
see,
If you're listening, I'm
the Sean Waltman of do you
Sean
remember
Waltman.
Sean Waltman? Yes.
Sean Waltman.
One, two,
Refresh.
three, kid.
Oh yes,
X
this kid.
Pac.
Think skinnier, like skinny,
Because
like no.
I remember when Sean Waltman started, he was the lightning kid, the 1, 2, 3 kid, and he was literally like this thin.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, what are you doing? This isn't your territory. I never
So
liked
okay,
him. I don't know why, but I never liked him
he's a
as a
punk, and I don't like
person
him either.
or
So,
as a
um,
person and as a wrestling personality. I didn't really care for him. I never liked him.
no, not my favorite guy either. He kind of came off as skeevy. So
Yes.
Maddie, if you're listening, I mean this with love and friendship. He doesn't have an ounce of muscle on his body. Dude can move. He's got
Hmm.
speed. He's very coordinated, but he's got nothing. No chest. Like absolutely no pecs. No nothing. Needs some muscle. Needs to do push-ups.
Hmm.
So he pissed off one of the trainers. He made a not a derogatory comment, but it was a comment that wasn't taken very well.
Hmm.
And he was requested to roll into the ring with the said trainer. Said trainer is bigger than me. He is about 5'10", but he's built like a freaking tank.
Hmm.
Dude is thick. And we were working on taking a shot and how to react to the shot.
Hmm.
He decided to Ric Flair chest chop him. Yeah. You heard, and dude.
For those uninitiated in what we're talking about,
Yes, let me describe this one.
Google Ric Flair chest chop and you'll know.
Take your right hand and put it to your left shoulder, and you're going to do a slapping motion from across the shoulder to the other shoulder. And you're going to slap the guy literally palm flat on his chest so it makes
Those
a chop.
those chops.
Dude has big, thick hands. My
Ooh.
boy has no chest. It is just skin and
It's a
bone and the
board.
organs.
Quite literally
And
a board.
you heard the chop hit his chest, and you heard his soul leave his body. When it did, I'm like, I think he just died.
That'll teach him a lesson.
I felt so bad. I'm like, son of a. He got him like 3 or 4 more times in a row.
Well, again, it's one of those things that when you enter that kind of sport, you would think that you would build from what you have already. Like in my mind, it's like when you train for a race, you know? When you train for a race, the way I see it is you should at least be able to walk, a 5K or 3.1 miles. You should be able to walk that easily because that's the progression of things. When you start training your body, and I'm sure you know this because you've done this many, many times, it's your body tells you when you're ready for the next step, when you're ready to go faster, when you're ready to go a little bit longer, when you're ready to cover a larger distance, your body tells you. So you'd think that if you were involved in this kind of sport, that you would at least have pre-trained your body in toning and muscle building and so on and so forth before you take this.
Oh, it's funny as hell because he got him like 3 or 4 times. Manny comes out of the ring, rolls out, and I'm like, hey, baby. And he's like, hey. I'm like, how's your tattoo? And he's like, I don't have a tattoo. I'm like, lift up your shirt. He lifted up his shirt. He has the guy's hand on his chest, like an imprint,
Just
red, just the whole outline. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that had to hurt, son of a bitch. So trainer calls for me to roll into the ring. And I'm like, oh, this is about to go down. Cool. I'm a little bit thicker. I'm a lot
Mhm.
thicker. And I rolled in the ring and I'm like, all right, let's go. And he's like, and he tapped my chest. He's like, no, we're okay. And he rolled out. I'm like, huh, okay. I'm not sure how to take all this stuff.
I guess he wasn't going to leave that kind of a mark on your chest because you're a little bit more solid.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's watched me work out.
Than a skinny
And
guy.
in the class,
Mhm.
I'm probably one of the better conditioned guys.
Okay,
I think they were waiting for me to I think they were waiting for me to bow out
because you're
during the
old.
injury. Yeah, because I'm old, because I have the old. And then they've
We all
watched me
have the
work out
old.
and they're like, yeah, he's not breaking. Son of a bitch, he's not going to break. Okay, I guess he's in.
I guess that's
what's
it, huh?
Because the guy that runs the school, he's like, hey, why didn't you tell me you have a podcast? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I didn't think it was that important. I'm like, not like the podcast isn't important, but I'm like, I'm here to wrestle, not to podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I would have loved to know that. He's like, how big is your podcast? I'm like, we're on 3 major networks. So I'm like, I don't know. We're on iHeartRadio. I'm like, we're everywhere. I'm like, we got a pretty good, fan base. I'm like, it's I think we do well. And he's like, what do you mean 3 different networks? And I listed off the networks, including WBN out of, the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, his jaw's like dropping. And I'm like, I just didn't think to tell you. I'm like, I was here to learn. I want to be a wrestler.
I didn't think it was relevant to this experience.
Well, it's kind of funny. I said, I'm like, I'm here to be a wrestler. I'm like, I just want to be a wrestler. I'm like, I don't want to bring up my outside stuff. He's like, and he grabbed me by the shoulder. He's like, I hate to tell you. He's like, you're a wrestler. And he's like, and now this is stuff I want to know. He's like, what else do I need to know? And I'm like, he called me a wrestler. Oh.
Aw, you're official. You've been inducted into the club. Look at you.
So.
Look at you. All right. You ready to start this show?
Sure, because if you don't stop me now,
we're not even in pace with the radio timer right now. That's like our video is way behind, compared to, well, this is what happens when you record in real time. But there we go. All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, it's ready in 3, 2, 1.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Oh no, it's the mojo signal. Rocky and Fish need me. Here I come, Fish. Here I come, Rocky.
Jeez Louise, where's the narrator guy? We can't start the show without him.
I'm not sure. I hit the mojo alarm.
I'm here. What's the emergency?
Narrator, we needed to start the show, but we can't do it without you.
Oh. Okay, let's make this quick. I just dashed out of the bathtub for this.
You were taking a bath like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman?
Yes, but without the toenail polish and Richard Gere.
Were there bubbles? Were you using a bath bomb?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Do you have a little yellow ducky?
Captain Quack is blue. I mean, no. Well, maybe. Darn it. Yes.
It's okay. That's perfectly fine.
Please, guys, can we just get on with it? The other narrators will pick on me.
All right, narrator guy, don't worry. Go for it and start us off.
Deep in the heart of Texas, in the confines of the Desert Air Hotel, Casino, Convention Center, RV Park, Bunny Slope, shooting range, and convenience store, we find our heroes busy at work in room 13, finding news stories, compiling dad jokes, sharing fun stories about life, and most importantly, trying so desperately just to be funny. Our shenanigan-loving duo is made up of Rocky, producer extraordinaire and keeper of truth and integrity, and her slightly goofy and often questionable decision-making partner, the Fish.
Well, he's definitely not wrong there. I'm telling you, what a long 3 weeks this has been.
Here we
Looking
go.
forward to the day I can just relax on the weekends. Enjoy my own show with my friend here. He's got a truckload of I don't know what.
Something.
And you're gonna like it.
I'm coming.
I bet you he knows where his keys are.
I love that song.
I do. I like it. I like it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Room 13. It has been a while. Thank you for joining us this weekend. Make sure you're following us on all of our major social medias. As you know, we are on Twitter, Room 13 Show, at Rocky with an I, at The Riverfish. We are on Facebook, Room 13 Radio Show. We are on YouTube, Room 13 Show. We are on TikTok, Room 13 Show, because that's just how we roll. You can hear us here, as you already are, I'm sure, on Mojo50, mojo50.com, Odyssey Network, and WBN 324, where our friends across the pond are hearing this wonderful broadcast that we put so much effort into this
Why are
hour.
you shaking your head like that?
Because we do so much work for this. Like
I
so
jammed
tired.
5 minutes of entertainment that will show up sooner or later in this whole hour. I'm
At
sure it's there.
some point, I'm just waiting for it to pop up on my screen. So, and stuff.
It'll be there.
Yeah, something like that. If you miss all of our episodes, make sure that you visit any of the many, many, many podcast providers. Look for Room 13 Show, and we should be there. And if not, then they're just poo-poo heads.
Mm.
And that's a scientific term.
I wanted to take a minute
Mm-hmm.
and come clean about something.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm.
I want to share something with you because you're my
Mhm.
friend
Mm-hmm.
and the audience about something very, very, very deep,
Mhm.
very emotional, very personal.
Are you gonna burp?
No, it's not gas.
Oh, okay.
I used to be a man in a woman's body, but then I pulled out and I'm fine now. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
What happens must be a family show, Finn. That
Hey,
went out. That went out the window.
If your kids are innocent, they should not have gotten that joke, and there should be no questions being asked right now. If they're
This
asking
is true.
questions, they're watching too much cable TV.
This is like the jokes that do you remember in the when you and I used to watch the Bugs Bunny cartoons and the Popeye cartoons, these kinds of cartoons like that where they would insert jokes for the adults.
Mm.
Rugrats would be great for that. It's like this is like the joke that only the grown-ups will get.
There's always,
So.
even in the Disney movies nowadays, the
Yeah.
Pixar movies, there's
Mhm.
little jokes just for us,
Just
for
for
us. And the kids don't get them now, but in 10 years, they're like,
When they
oh.
yes, yeah, exactly. I know. It's like there's some my daughter continues to be obsessed with Finding Dory, and there are so many things on that movie that it's my husband and I always joke because it's true. One of our favorites is when Dory's looking at the map and she says, "Wow, how can someone do this park in one day?"
Yeah, that's just for the adults. That's for the adults.
Just for the
They're like,
adults. So if you've ever been at Disney, there are sometimes that you're like, "How can one person do this park in one day?"
Actually, I just started watching Night Court. Do you remember Night Court?
Yes,
Carrie
John Larroquette, Marky Post.
Marky Post, God rest her
Yeah.
soul now.
Mm-hmm.
John Larroquette was my favorite.
He's still around,
but
right? I think he's still around.
John Larroquette?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Marky Post is dead.
Yeah. I know that she died a couple of years ago, right?
Richard Mole is still with us.
Richard Mole still is, yeah.
And then the other, well, I think Roz is still with us. I can't remember what her real name is.
I don't remember. It's like I remember the top bills. Gregory, what's his name? Gregory Anderson. Gregory Anderson.
Harry Anderson.
Harry
Harry. Yeah.
Harry Anderson. Yeah. I'm like, I always get the name confused. Like in my mind, I know what he looks like, but the name escaped
He's
me.
yeah,
He's
he's
still
dead.
around too. He's dead, right?
He's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Mac Robinson is dead.
We've lost
Um,
so many people. I know. It's like now I'm starting to reach that point in my life where hosts and TV personalities from the shows that our parents used to watch that we kind of recognize, they're starting to pass on now. We're like, oh, it's like there goes my childhood. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh yeah, I remember my parents used to watch that show, blah, blah, blah. So, it's like we're starting to get that age where we're gonna start losing our own in a couple of years too.
well, I brought that up not to bring us down about who's dead and who's not, because
Hmm.
that gets really, really depressing really, really quick. And it's only Saturday morning and we don't want to go down that path.
We're supposed to be light.
I bring that up because I started watching, the shows again.
Hmm.
And I used to watch it when I was 10, 11 years old. I have no
Hmm.
idea what my parents were thinking of because there are so many sexual innuendos and dark humor and just I'm like watching it. I'm like, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Oh my God. I was 10 years old when I watched this. Son of a mom. I want to call it my mom. Mom, what the holy hell were you thinking of? It was my go-to show. I
You
love
let
that
me watch
show.
that show? I know. I used to watch it too.
Although my favorite was Dan Fielding, John Larroquette, and now that explains so much about my high school and college years. Absolutely explains so many things.
Hmm.
His one comment in the one episode I was watching was, I know, I know it like the inside of my palm. When I was 10 years old, I'm like, the comment is back of your hand. I'm like, I don't know why everybody's laughing. Now I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Inside of my palm. I get it.
It's
I get it.
yep. That's there. It is. Again, it's like you wouldn't know until you reach a certain age, a certain point in your life where you're like, "Yep, I know exactly what that means." It's like, how did I miss that?
Yeah,
Well,
there's if you watch Cheers now, you're like, that's hilarious. How did I just not get that? Cheers is another one. Subtle little jokes.
and I tell people the same thing about Seinfeld. When Seinfeld was first released, I was in high school. 'Cause what year did Seinfeld end? Was it like late 90s, almost in the
Uh,
2000s?
probably
So I was still living in Puerto Rico. I was still relatively young because I graduated high school in
99. Ghost
mid
99.
mid to late 90s. Let's leave it
Mhm.
vague like that. So I graduated high school at the height of Seinfeld popularity. So it wasn't something that I was watching at that age necessarily. But for me, Seinfeld became a very funny show once I started living in New York. That's
Yeah,
when
because then
all
you
the
got
jokes, that's when all the jokes sink in.
all the
So
references.
yes, a lot of the references, a lot of the weird things that are unique to New York City living, even though I didn't live in New York City proper. I lived out on Long Island, but we visited New York City enough times that then that's when the jokes clicked. So, and with my husband's family and my husband being from New York, from New York City, from Queens particularly, they got all the jokes and they thought it was hilarious. And then once I started understanding it myself, it's like, oh my gosh, now I get it. And with the addition of like the adult humor, the grown-up humor in Seinfeld, then it just becomes even more hilarious.
Yeah, because I remember watching the episode where they do the bet. We all remember
Yes.
that one.
We
They're all
remember the
in.
bet.
How long could you
I'm out.
out? And I thought it was funny when I was a teenager. I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, fine, no problem. I've rewatched it since, and I'm like, that is piss your pants
That's
funny humor.
hilarious.
Where I'm
Yes.
like, I get it on so many different levels. Humor. Now
That
that we've totally
insane.
gone off the production sheet,
What production sheet?
I
We
put so much
told
time into this damn thing.
please. Before we carry on to our next segment, our respective segments, we have a new sponsor and they sent us a commercial, a very exclusive commercial for us to play. So everybody please listen in.
Come on to Kinsey's Boat Store. This is Kinsey speaking. We have everything you need, whether you're a master fisherman, a master baiter, or just a novice at boats. We have everything that is necessary to get you in practice and up for the task. We have every kind of worm that you need, whether it be artificial or real, that you can use to catch all of the fish that you want. And come down this week only for our new boat rental service. Yes, you can ride my dinghy just for $20. And if you go ahead and join our Frequent Fishers Club right now, we'll throw in an extra fish finder for free rental on your fishing trip. Come now, run down the interstate off of the exit just before the beach, and then turn over there down the dirt road, and it'll be the last shack on the left, right next door to the outhouse. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye now.
I love how that turned out.
That
was
absolutely perfect. I was like, I'm not touching that. I'm not doing anything to it. It's beautiful.
There was a conversation between Kinsey's Boat Store and I, and they were looking for a little bit of direction as to how I envisioned a commercial. Because Kinsey and I get along. We have a similar sense of humor.
Yes.
And I sent him a clip from the 1975 classic The Muppet Show, the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Where Doc Hopper is doing the commercial for Doc Hopper's Frog Legs. And I'm like, and I sent him the YouTube clip. I'm like, this is what I think is funny. I'm like, do this. And he sent it like 10 minutes later. Oh my gosh, I got it. And he sent it back. I'm like, yep, you got it. I'm like, that's freaking.
I had to get a hold of him because for some reason that ended up in the spam folder. Ever been expecting like a very important email and you keep refreshing, you keep telling the person, are you sure that you sent this to the right email address? It's supposed to be this. And they send it 2-3 times and then it ends up in a junk folder. That's what happens. That's what happened to Kinsey.
A lot of my emails from my mother-in-law go there.
Are you sure you didn't mark her as spam?
Shh.
No, I hear the spam is delicious, but what do I know? So, as you know, living in the great state of Florida, well, for now, we're kind of fighting a few battles here in this state. School started last week.
Yay!
Though I am glad that my daughter is back to school. That means that I have to put up with customers who are looking for specific items that perhaps they should have purchased. When 4th of July was over and we started putting out school supplies out on the sales floor, maybe they should have gotten their school supplies then. But no, now you get the parents of, why is it that you don't have this size binder and this type folder? And I very, very tenderly tell them, well, sir, madam, just so you know, we've had these products out on the floor since early July. And we service a lot of schools in this area. So you're not the only one looking for school supplies. If you cannot find what you're looking for here, use our competitor, please.
Amazon.
No, I do. Yes, just go to Amazon. I did that when I purchased. So my daughter's school supply list, because she's in the exceptional student classroom, which is politically correct for special needs classroom. They need a specific size binder. And that's a size that I can usually never, not even in the off season in a school supply section, can I find this particular size. And it's a 0.5 wide binder. So of course, I shop at my local Walmart. I find everything except the binders. And what do? I look it up. I use my handy dandy app to try and see if we have them in the back room somewhere. We do not. And I just go to Amazon and I ordered the ones that I needed in the colors that I needed. And I got them delivered to my doorstep in 2 days.
I love Skynet.
Skynet is wonderful. I have to tell you, there are so many things that I am grateful for the magic of the internet that you can find so many things that you didn't even know you needed, but they're there.
I mean, we both come from the generation of our parents having to go to 10 different stores
Mm-hmm.
because we usually got the list that first day of school and you
Mm-hmm.
needed it the next day. And you'd go
Mm-hmm.
to, all 3 department stores, all 4, drug stores, and squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. What's squeaking?
That would be my dog.
I
She
thought it was the
decided that now is an appropriate time to play with her squeaky toy. She's
I thought it was the
looking for me to
narrator
play
again in the
with her.
bathtub.
That's entirely possible too. He may not have turned off his microphone.
Microphone? Chris, hot mic, turn it
Yeah.
off. We do not need to hear your singing of Barry Manilow. That's
Mm.
disturbing again.
No, please no.
That's your dog, son of a bitch.
She has a duck with squeakers. She's literally right next to me. Live recording. This is what happens when you do a live recording. You can control your environment all you want, but then you get a live dog.
Yeah,
They
it's kind
want
of funny
you in the
that
first place.
you get the parents, that are doing the last minute shopping. You've had the list for 6 weeks. Good on you, parents.
I'll never understand, and that's pretty much with everything in the general Florida area. They seem to be unprepared for everything, even though these are things that they should be. This is inevitable. Like hurricane season, back to school is inevitable. Thanksgiving is inevitable. It's always the same date. You know well in advance when this is going to start. Why don't you have your supplies ready, especially those things that you know are going to be difficult for you to get? The easy things like the reams of paper, the notebooks, and things like that, we have tons of. So unless you're looking for something extremely specific, you're going to be SOL. But if you're looking for a binder, if you're looking for particularly binders, those are the very first things that are going to go.
No, it's like the
Order
people
those
looking-
ahead of time.
It's like the people going to the store the day before Christmas Eve.
Yes.
You're out of hams? Why are you out of
Yes.
hams?
That is
darling?
why I am so looking forward to not having to deal with people at the retail level anymore. Because between that and I mentioned hurricane season because hurricane season has officially started, right? Starts August 1st. So this is the time in which people who live in these kinds of states should stock up on their batteries, make sure that their flashlights are operational. If they don't have a generator, make sure that you get one now. If it's a gas powered, gasoline powered. If you have a natural gas one, then you don't have to worry about it because it's already connected to your home. It'll kick in the moment that the power goes out. Perfect. Make sure you have extra supplies. We have supplies of emergency food. MyPatriotSupply.com. I ordered the two big buckets of emergency preparedness food. It's sitting in my garage. I always have cases of water handy, but I
Ooh,
have
question.
2 cases. Yes, sir.
Let's I have a question.
Yes.
How-
River fish.
From mypatriotsupply.com,
Mhm.
how long do the buckets of food last and how much food does that give you? Because this would satisfy our spot requirement from the network.
Yes, well, lucky for you, this is a 30-day supply and it is enough to feed 4 people. It gives you full breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, desserts, and everything. You get 2 big A buckets that you can reuse that bucket for something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you haven't figured it out by now, then you need an emergency preparedness bucket.
How long does the food last? I mean, not 30 days. I mean,
It's a 30
2 years?
it's a 30
No, no.
day it lasts for 20 years. So even if you don't use it
Ooh.
this hurricane season or next, it'll last you through 20 years. And it is definitely something that you can keep in your garage or keep in your closet or wherever you have your secret stash
There you go.
of
See,
supplies.
we got that in.
Yes.
Now the network won't be
got
mad
it
at us.
in. We got it in.
Ding ding.
So, yes. So I don't know. Oh, yes, where I was going with this. People, be ready. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's back to school. It doesn't matter if it's blizzard season if you live up in the north. It doesn't matter if it's hurricane season if you live in the south. It doesn't matter if it's wildfire season if you live in the West Coast. It doesn't matter where you live. You're going to encounter some sort of disaster or another. This should not catch you by surprise. Always have something. Have something in your car that if all heck breaks loose, make sure you have something in your car. If heck breaks loose in your home, have a go bag. Be ready. Be ready.
You know what
There's
you
nothing wrong with being ready.
You know what our listeners need?
What?
You're gonna love this segue. I'm patting myself on the back because I just thought of this now. This is awesome. Our listeners not only should they go to mypatriotsupply.com, mypatriotsupply.com, and get their food thing, but they should have a list of things that they need to dash out the door with, or in the event of an emergency.
Have a checklist.
Have a checklist. And you know where you should put the checklist? On your refrigerator. And you know what you should hold your refrigerator? What you should hold that up to the refrigerator with? One of the Room 13 magnets that we're now selling for a low cost price of $2, flat rate, $2. That
$2 covers shipping.
Covers your shipping and handling.
Mm-hmm.
And the handling I do for free because I enjoy handling. So
I love to touch you.
we have these cool magnets. It's got our logo on it. Only costs $2. If you'd like one, please DM myself or Rocky over on Twitter. And we take Venmo. Do you take PayPal?
I have Venmo. I have PayPal. We can open one for the show.
We should do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you could Venmo us $2, PayPal us $2, whatever, and we will happily mail you off one of these cool Room 13 magnets, for which you can hold that list of things down that you're supposed to do in the event of an emergency.
See, I have a stainless steel bottle, and guess what's there? I have my Room 13 magnet. All of my stainless steel tumblers and things like that all have a Room 13. I even put a magnet on the fridge at work.
You can print out the list of cool shows from odyssey1.com, and you can put the list right there in the refrigerator. It works great. It'll hold anything up.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So guess what? We probably have about 30 seconds left. The music's gonna start playing soon. This is what
Join us on the
happens
other side of
when
the
we
play.
plan. This is what happens when we come up with a plan for the show and it's just completely out the window. There it goes. So we will be back in about 2 minutes, everyone. Hang tight. We'll see you after the jump. Room 13, Mojo 50.
You know what I think worked out well?
What?
We took a week off. We got a chance to recharge. Not a bad thing once in a while.
Not a bad thing every once in a while. Which reminds me, we have to start planning for the coming holidays.
Well, the holidays and the hurricane season.
Yes.
Because if you can't record, we are in an SOL situation.
Yes. We're going to be in a replay situation.
Well, no, because I've already reached out to Chris, and Chris is going to tutor me.
Okay.
So
I'm telling you, it's really, really, really easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy.
Because worst case scenario, I just do a show with Chris. Hey, Chris, come on, hey, why don't we record a show together? Rocky can't. Hurricane hit. She's out.
Yeah.
Fun situation. I blah, blah, blah for an hour about absolutely nothing. Which is basically my forte.
Which is easy which is easy when it's an hour.
Yeah. It's short.
Follow the same formula. Make sure that you have an outline of what it is that you want to cover. Oh, great. My daughter's up.
That's okay. Well, you know her better than I do.
I've got a dog squeaking over here. I've got a daughter who just woke up because, folks, in case you forgot, we record this show on Thursday night.
Can we pause?
Huh?
Do we have to pause?
I shouldn't think so.
It's never happened so far. It's almost going to be a year for us. Our anniversary's coming up.
Yes, but that's what's charming about this show. It's about real life.
Sometimes something happens.
And there we go. 10 seconds.
What are we going to do for our anniversary?
I don't know. What are you getting me? Is it paper? Is the first year anniversary paper? our official anniversary?
See now, I don't. You know what? We're gonna have to contact
Which do we count as our actual anniversary? When we
the
were
date of our first
participating
show-
in the contest, or when we became the official show?
when we consummated the show.
We consummated the show.
I so wanted to use a big word. I want to use big words once in a while.
Big words with Mojo Riverfish.
I would think the first show is when we did our first show, no matter if it was in the contest or not.
This is true. I would have to dig through the archives to see what the date of that was. I want to say that it was in October.
It was October because I remember the contest started in October.
It was
just
it
don't-
was like the last weekend in October, because wasn't it October through November?
Was it? Or was it the first week of October?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to. I
And I used
don't know
to-
why I'm thinking October.
I know it's October because you know what?
Mm.
We did the whole show where we talked about our favorite Halloween candy, and we
Yes.
realized that
Mhm.
our friendship almost broke over Tootsie Rolls.
I'll let bygones speak of bygones, and I respect everybody's opinion, and I respect your opinion, even though I disagree with it.
Okay, let me make my statement then. I think you're a sick freak because you like Tootsie Rolls, and I can't believe we're friends anymore. You freak.
We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue being friends, despite the fact that you hate me for my
Just
love
Tootsie
of
Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls.
Your love of Tootsie Rolls.
Even though it's not real chocolate, it's like chocolate flavored taffy.
I don't know what the heck it is.
It's
It's
delicious. Is what
it's
it is.
not right.
But I like
not
the
right.
vanilla one though. If I had to choose between a vanilla Tootsie
Ooh.
Roll and the chocolate one, the vanilla midgies, those things are heavenly.
Yeah, I do. Okay, we have a bridge.
Have you tried the fruity ones though?
Yes, I like the fruity ones too. They're fabulous. I love those.
Yes. So my favorite
Toby.
are the vanilla ones. You can go to Walmart and you can actually get like the little bag of the vanilla midgies.
I just thought of something. There's a little story I gotta go with my other story. So you want to do our fundraiser, the charity of the month?
Yes. Okay, here we go. So our charity, as you all know, Room 13 tries to feature a charity each month, or a non-profit organization. And for the most part, we try to stick with those organizations that aren't necessarily well known. But in this case, we'll make the exception because one Beth E. Knott, every year, she raises funds for JDRF, which is Junior Diabetes Research Foundation, JDRF. And she also does American Heart Association. So she's got members of her family that do suffer from heart disease, so on and so forth. And I'm sure you know someone or know of someone who has suffered or deals with heart disease every day, or has had a stroke, et cetera, any kind of heart issues. So Beth every year participates in the Dallas Heart Walk. So this year she's participating in that for the American Heart Association. She initially started with a goal of $1,000. She beat that goal and she increased it to $1,500. So can we help her reach her goal? We will be sharing that link on Facebook this weekend so that those of you who follow our social media like Twitter and TikTok can go and visit that link. Yes.
Actually, if you go to our Twitter page right now, it's pinned to the top of our Twitter page.
Perfect. Even better.
So go to Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, what the hell's wrong with you? Go to Twitter, and it's pinned right to the top of our page. Make sure you freaking like our page first. Why aren't you following us? We need more followers. And
Yes.
then click on the link and then, do your duty.
You said duty. Do you want to do your story?
Sure. So
I'm curious about your story.
I lived up to my billing. I'm on vacation all this week, so it's kind of been nice. I took a week off. I don't work full time for any one company. I work for 4 different companies. So in order for me to take time off, I got to make sure I've, actually put money aside and, can land on my feet and afford to take the time off. So I took time off this week. I'm here, there, and everywhere. We're having some family issues right now. So I'm making sure I help my wife attend to her grandfather, who basically is her father. not biologically, but emotionally. So
Caregiver, care doesn't have to necessarily be physical, but emotional too. So
yeah, they're very, very tight. I love
Mhm.
him dearly. Sweet old man. He's 90. So
Wow.
not the point of the story.
Mhm.
So point of the story being is I took some time off to spend some time with the kids before everybody goes off to school, because
Mhm.
two of my daughters are going off to high school. My youngest daughter is going off to, you'll love this. She's going to Catholic school this year. She's kind of fed up with the public school system, and she's like, find me another school. I'm like, okay. So I enrolled her, and she's got uniforms, and she's gripping with reality of what is about to happen.
It's a transition. I mean, for me, it was easy because in Puerto Rico, pretty much every private school is religion affiliated. It's affiliated with a religion. And in this case, they're 95% Catholic.
Yep. So she's going to Catholic school because
Mhm.
we're Catholic.
Mhm.
And but I thought, I'm like, I'll take a week off before, the kids go back to school. We can spend some time together. So
Spend
we went to
quality
this
time. Mhm.
we went to the zoo this week. I haven't been to the zoo in forever. This was great. We saw the monkeys, we saw the gorillas. I learned something. The
Did
zoo
you
we
now?
went to, the zoo we went to has 2 pandas, 1
Mhm.
grizzly, 3 black bears, and 4 of some other kind of bears. Apparently there is a bare minimum to have a zoo, and they met the requirement. So
A bare minimum.
thank you very much. Try the veal. Tip your staff. So
It was not lost on me that you said a bare minimum, but okay.
the kids for Christmas got me a dad joke book. I've been skimming through it every week. I like dad jokes. Ooh, I need new material. They do it because they love me and they hate everybody else, because
Of course.
I give you guys all the dad jokes. So we're going around the zoo. We went to the aviary cage. We fed the giraffes, which was very, very cool. I thought that was a lot of fun. And we were taking a break in the commissary eating area. It was packed, just packed. But we're taking a break. We're having a little lunch, and we're going over the map. What did we see? What do we want to see? What didn't we see just yet? My youngest, who's only 12, who still doesn't know better, I don't know why, says, hey, we got to go see the hippopotamus. And I'm like, that's right. I'm like, they have a hippopotamus. I'm like, I can't believe they only have one, though. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you said they have a hippopotamus. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, the hippopotamus is the female of the hippopotamus. The hippopotamus is the male version. She's like, Dad, what are you talking about? And I'm like, hippopotamus is a large animal, no antlers. Hippopotamus, because it's the male, has antlers. It has horns. Think about it. Deer. Doe, a deer, a female deer has no horns. The male deer, the buck, has horns. I'm like, think about the cows. Cows that give milk has no horns, but the bull, which is the male version, has horns. I'm like, it goes throughout the whole animal, whole kingdom thing, where they have male has horns, female has no horns.
Mm-hmm.
She's following along as I'm saying this, and I'm getting a large audience unbeknownst to me because
you're you.
I tend to project my voice. And when I
Is that what they call
feel,
it?
yeah, I project. I have a loud voice. I like entertaining. When I think I have someone on the line, I get louder. I had my daughter on the line. Unbeknownst to me, there was a large group of Girl Scouts behind my daughter listening. They were like 8 to 7 years old, listening to every single freaking word. And my daughter's like, Dad, so a hippopotamus is a female hippo? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, and a hippopotamus is the male version. I'm like, we have to go over to the hippopotamus area and go find the hippopotamus. I'm like, it has long antlers. You can't miss it. It's really, really cool. Okay, Dad, let's go. There was a stampede from behind us as we went off to where the hippopotamus was, because it was the Girl Scouts behind me. We made it to the railing first. My daughter and I with my mom. And I think my daughters and my wife realized what I was doing and that I had an audience, and they were just sitting back observing, like, oh, shit.
Like they always do.
Look what your father has done. And then there's my daughters. Why did you marry him? I don't understand. So I'm pointing out, look over there. You can see, is that antlers? Nope, it's a stick. Nope, look over there. Nope, those are, oh, nope, that's a stick. I see bubbles. I see bubbles. Here comes the hippopotamus. Nope. The Girl Scouts are behind me. I know I'm aware of them, and I can see out the corner of my eye, they're getting up on tiptoe, trying to look over the railing, looking for the hippopotamus. It was a lot of fun. it was a lot of fun. And we're looking all around. We found the hippopotamus. I'm like, oh, look, there's a hippopotamus. And I'm like, the female hippopotamus. My daughter's all excited. Oh, there it is. And they're feeding it and they're feeding it. And I'm like, where's the hippopotamus? I don't see the hippopotamus. I'm like, you should see really big antler. Oh, it's right over there, right behind the logs. You can see it right there. You can see it's moving a little bit. Those aren't sticks. That's actually the antlers. And they're all, so we walk away and the Girl Scout troop immediately flocks to the railing. And they're like, I see it, I see it, I see it. And as I'm walking away and I realize what I've done, I'm very amused. I'm very proud of myself.
I'm
I
sure.
feel eyes blazing holes through me. And it was an unfamiliar feel because I know what my wife's eyes when they look through me feel like. And I know what my daughter's eyes feel like when they're shooting lasers through me because I'm a jackass. These were new eyes. And I turn and it's who I presume to be the Girl Scout leaders who are now looking at me with disgust and anger because I have all their Girl Scouts looking for a hippopotamus. They're all very, very adamant that the hippopotamus exists. And now they're trying to figure out how to explain to them that there is no such thing as a hippopotamus because
You
the
are a
jackass over there.
threat.
And I'm like, and I'm walking away and my wife's just like, you're such an ass. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that was fun. That was hilarious. Think about the joy I just gave those kids. She's like, think about the migraines you just gave those freaking den mothers. I'm like, yeah, there's that. I'm like, there is that.
I am waiting for you to tell me one day that you've been banned from going to the zoo.
I've been asked not to by various schools to be the chaperone. I think I've told you the story of the talking turkeys.
Yes.
I've told you the stories of the people exhibit with the apes. People, if you have not heard the episodes, I'm like, go back. They're there. I don't know
They're
what
all
dates
there.
I did them on.
They're
They're
in
all
the
there.
archive.
I've been a jackass at many a level, much for my own amusement. Usually for my own amusement. I find myself funny. I get
Which
bored.
is usually a jackass, which is okay. That's why
It's
we're
okay.
here. It's show fodder. It's show fodder. I think I'm ready.
You ready?
We're almost ready. We're almost ready for the
I
dad
cannot
joke
wait for
segment.
this. I cannot wait for this crowd. I cannot wait. See, here's the cool thing. I listened to you in your previous incarnation on that other show,
Mm-hmm.
and I never would have thought
Mhm.
you would have followed me down the path that would lead you to do what you are about to do now. Because, by the way, I will be isolating this audio, and it will be on TikTok later. This is gonna be so cool. It's a shame you don't drink more. You should really drink.
I hope I don't disappoint myself here.
I
I'm
hope you
hoping that
disappoint.
I'm hoping that the timing comes out right. I have to find my tile with the audio. I practiced this a lot, so fingers crossed that it turns out okay.
I'm way too white to be doing what you're about to do. Find your inner Slim Shady.
It's not gonna be my inner Slim Shady, but we're running. Our time is running, and okay. So as you all know, this is our dad joke segment, which starts now.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, please do. Our dad joke segment, which is going to be sponsored by our friends at APR Coffee, AmericanFriedRoasters.com. My. Mondays hit me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a mug to drink of some Room 13. It feels good when you know you're down. A Zubido brew from APR that once you've had that first taste, it's definitely a taste you can't touch. Go to AmericanFriedRoasters.com, AmericanFriedRoasters.com. Get your favorite blend and take on the day. And remember to not let anyone touch yours. I missed the timing by like that much. I'm red. It sounded so much better in my head when I practiced it like 50,000 times. I am not a rapper. I was trying to do it straight up lyric reading, but I can't. Not with the track playing in the back.
No, because you almost have to do it. No, you have to do it with the track in the background and just try and
Yes, you
nail
have
it.
to. I tried. I kind of missed I had it timed in my head. You know, it's like 1, 2, now. So
Can you please do me a favor?
no.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It's my birthday next week. You have to.
Okay. Okay, fine. For your birthday, I'll do it. It's your birthday
You know what?
gift.
For Dave's birthday next week. It's not my
Okay.
birthday next week. It's Dave's. We all know it's Dave's. It's fact.
Yes, it's Dave's birthday. Yeah.
Could you
it's
please
fact.
do my favorite rap from the 90s?
Send it to me in a text, and I will work on it.
Can I tell you what it is?
Don't you
I
want to
wanna s-
surprise Dave?
Mm,
It's
the
a
surprise will come with the performance. I think
Okay.
the performance will be enough of a surprise to hear you doing Digital Underground's Humpty Dance.
Okay.
It's a little bit slower for rap. You should be able to handle it because I'm very Caucasian and I'm pretty sure I could handle at least that version. I'm not sure if I'm smooth enough to blend the APR goodness into the Humpty Dance.
I'll don't worry. I'll figure it out.
Do you know the lyrics?
No, because rap was not a genre that I was very familiar with growing up, and I still am not. It's
Do
one
you
of
not-
those genres that I never got into.
Do you know the song?
I've heard of the song, yes. So don't
Stop
worry,
what
I'll no, no,
what you're
not at this
doing,
moment. Not
I'm
at this
about to ruin
moment.
The image and the style that you used to? No? Okay.
No.
Dad jokes.
I'll do some research, so don't worry about that. So yes, dad jokes. We got a couple of new participants, which I'm very excited about. We have our friends. What?
That son of a bitch.
What?
He cheated on us.
Who?
Indiana Mike.
Why?
He
How?
cheated on us. What do you mean, why? I don't know
How?
why. How? Well,
why
I
do
can draw
people
you a
cheat?
picture. He was on that other show. He was on Tin Can Radio with dad jokes.
He's got a lot of dad jokes to share.
He
Why do you
busted
have to
his-
be greedy?
He busted his dad joke cherry with somebody else. I'm woefully offended.
It's Indiana Mike, and I love him dearly, so he's okay with me. But
His
anyway,
first time
that's-
should have been with us. I'm just saying for the record.
with every new person, it's going to be a new experience because everybody's different. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I have to say about that. Anyway, we have our good friend, Jamie. You can hear her on Ain't You a Peach with Lep, who you'll be hearing back to back right after Jamie. So here we go.
A guy walks into a bar with a slab of asphalt under his arm. He says to the bartender, "I have a beer and one for the road."
Oh man, come on.
One, have a beer and one for the road. Oh, and then here's Celeb, who you can, they do a show together called Ain't You a Peach. It's a YouTube show. You can hear that Saturdays at 5 p.m.
Good morning, my friends on Room 13. It's your favorite little leprechaun. I've got a pair of dad jokes for you today. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. Ooh, that was bad. 6 was afraid of 7 because 7 ate 9. But why did 7 eat 9? Because you're supposed to eat 3 squared meals a day. Hope it's a great day, my friends. Peace out. Have a fantastic show. Hey, just a heads up, you can catch me on American Duck Radio here just in a couple of hours right here on Mojo 50. Peace out, y'all. Until next time.
Got a little cut off there, but that's okay. It's left.
If you got yard work to do, turn him up. Just turn him up. He's got great music taste. And he's funny. He's smooth. Great music taste. It's just turn it up.
It is just like our show. It's just, something that you can listen to in the background while you're doing stuff on a Saturday. Here is one from our good friend Indiana Mike.
What does a sprinter eat before they race? Nothing. They fast.
Oh,
They
Boo.
fast. What? It's funny. You would appreciate it. This is your runner. And last but not least, our narrator / dad joke vendor, right? He's a vendor.
Is he?
Sorry,
Yeah.
vendor. Yeah, something like that. Knights who say knee.
This is the Knights Who Say Knee. Rather than sharing a dad joke today, I have important information that everyone needs to know. I just found out that the company that produces yardsticks won't be making them any longer.
I've heard that one before, and it is funny. It's a thinking. It's
I
a
have
thinking
that one
joke.
in my list of dad jokes to do, and now I got to cross it off because I liked it when I heard it. I'm like,
Mhm.
and then he just did it. It's like, son of a bitch. Ugh.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
You've got mail.
I'm
Huh?
so.
You've got mail.
Ooh,
We have email.
You've got
I have
mail.
mail.
Yeah. Do you want to read the email, or would you like me to?
Go ahead, you got it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, ahoy, Rocky and Fish. Oh, I like that. I am a sailor and have traveled all around the world for business and pleasure. Upon my travels, I thought of this little joke for you. What did the ocean say to the beach? Nothing. It waved. Love your show. Stay salty. All the best. A salty seaman.
I just didn't want to say semen. Ah, shit, I just said it. Never mind. Damn.
Little late. A little late. Speaking of late, since we're kind of running short on time, you want to skip straight to the very important news of the week?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Is this the other
If
sponsor
we're-
that we got?
Before we do, yes. The news is sponsored by Mikey Hootie's Bakery, home of Indiana Mike's sticky buns. They're warm, they're sticky, they're right up gushy. Go to Yehoody's place, yehoodies.com. There you go. To place your order and tell them that your friends at Room 13 sent you. Why are you doing this to me? You keep changing this. You keep changing my bullet points for me.
I saw it and I'm just like, oh, I know how to make this funny. We can make this really funny. And now that's staying.
I'm sure it is. Well,
That's a fixture now. We're
I
done.
can't delete it. I can't delete that.
I didn't know how much you were gonna like sell the Yahoodies, and you sold it. So thanks. In my head, it sounded good, and you did it better. That was cool.
What can I do? All right, here we go. Room 13 news.
Room 13 News, hard-hitting, compelling, trustworthy, honest and caring, with Rocky Wibbenai and the Mojo River Fish.
Welcome to Room 13 News. I am Rocky with an I.
And I am the Riverfish.
Our top story, a recent study found that visitors to Dollywood suffer from postpartum depression upon leaving.
Oh. Overnight, a man was shot 200 times with an upholstery gun. Surgeons say he is fully recovered.
And finally, a Kankakee man can rest easy tonight. His stolen prosthetic arm was discovered in a secondhand shop.
You can tell which ones Rocky wrote because she starts laughing like harder.
I always laugh, though. I always laugh at our jokes. All right. So, Mr. Fish, do you have any live relations living out in the ocean?
There's a school of thought that I have a lot of relations
A
out there in the
school?
ocean. Thank you very
I
much.
see what you did there.
Quick on my feet there.
Wasn't lost on me. Well, apparently, I don't know if this is like a cousin of yours or whatever, but there's a fish out there with human-like teeth that everybody on social media seems to be talking about. So this is a human fish, or a fish with human-like teeth that is showing up on social media because it showed up in Nags Head, North Carolina. So I guess this is a fish that's natural to that habitat. It's the teeth on this fish kind of it almost looks like a donkey, like donkey teeth on
Like
a
donkey.
fish, like donkey. So the sheep's head fish, which is actually pretty common, was brought in by Nathan Martin and posted on a Facebook page of Jeanette's Pier, which I guess is an establishment in that area. A spokesperson for the pier told CBS affiliate KENS5 that sheep's head feed off the pier's barnacles. So I guess I wonder if that's why their teeth are like that, because they do look like human teeth. Sheep's head fish have human-like incisors and molars to help crush their food and enjoy shrimp and oysters, according to the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. People on social media, of course, were eager to show off their biting humor. Needs to floss, one wrote on the pier's Facebook. Mr. Ed is missing his dentures, cracked someone else. I know people who would love to have that many teeth, joked yet another. That's a dig on people in the hillbilly people who may be missing some teeth. I am looking at the mouth of this fish, and
It's disturbing.
it is disturbing. It literally looks like someone put fake teeth on a fish, but they are very, very real. It is an actual fish that has human teeth. So, needless to say, our river fish is not that river fish, and he's not related, at least not directly. What are they, like 3 times removed?
Something like that. Something
Along those lines. All right, your turn.
How much time we got?
We probably have about less than 2 minutes.
Here's what I want to
This is how
present.
much fun we have.
Here's what I want to present to you. I found this whole wormhole
Mhm.
of different Disney theories.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I found most disturbing was the one about Rapunzel. So you're familiar with Tangled the movie.
Tangled, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens in Tangled? She marries Flynn, right?
Mhm. At the
Flynn
end,
cuts-
yes.
At the end, okay, Flynn cuts her hair. She goes brunette,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mhm.
And they have 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
The children's names
Mm-hmm.
are Anastasia and Drusilla,
The
You know
sisters
who-
from Cinderella.
which makes Rapunzel, who
It
makes
makes
her the evil stepmother in Cinderella. Mind blown. Everyone's connected. They did it for whatchamacallit. They did it in Frozen too.
This is true. This is true. And Disney is famous for planting Easter eggs from their other movies. But here we go. My goodness, we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and, putting up with us, because that's how we are. So I hope everybody had a great time. Hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. Say goodnight, fish.
Good night.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Yes, so for those of you who are still sticking around, yes, we do have the Room 13 stickers, or we have stickers. The stickers will be free, so if you're still interested, please let us know through either Facebook or Twitter. And if you're interested in magnets, the magnets will be $2 because they were a little bit more expensive to make. But they're very nice.
The stickers are our gift to you guys if you want a sticker.
Mm-hmm.
But the magnets you're gonna have to pay for.
Yeah.
$2, which I didn't think was too expensive. And
I
that
thought
covers
that
shipping and
$2 was
handling.
very reasonable, and it covers the cost of shipping and the materials that we would be using to mail those out to you, which is the cost of a postage stamp and some envelopes from the dollar store.
So I found a whole bunch of different. We could probably do an episode or 2 on it of Disney movie theories that kind of ruin the movie.
We should make that into a show and use it as a backup show for a holiday weekend.
Ooh, because it would be evergreen, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be an evergreen episode. That's right. There's some technical
Okay.
jargon for all you peoples in the YouTube sphere and in the Facebook sphere. An evergreen episode or an evergreen topic is a topic that it doesn't matter when you're talking about it. It doesn't date itself. So you can talk about Disney movies anytime because who hates Disney movies? And if you
'Cause
do,
sooner
then
or
you should
later-
get out.
Because sooner or later something's going to happen to one of us in our lives where it's kind of like, yeah, can't record this week. Not good. It's already happened a couple times to us.
Yes, people
had-
get sick, or we have to be away, or whatever. Something.
Fish is in the emergency
it's
room.
Life. Yeah, exactly. Fish overworked himself trying to wrestle someone because he thought they could take him. What?
Fish's kidneys.
So exactly, something like that. So since life happens, and our show is all about life and life happens, we try to think ahead of ourselves and make sure that we cover our bases and have content for you where we may not have a video portion. Oh, actually, we could probably do a video portion because we pre-record all of this
Yeah.
stuff. Just a matter of uploading.
I'm not.
it.
I got more complaints about last week because there was no video portion,
Yes.
and I don't understand why. Because, well, you're good looking. I'm not very good looking, but you're good looking, so maybe.
Ish. That's relative,
You
I
know.
guess.
Mm.
To
But
each
they
his
were all
own.
kind of upset. Hey, there's no video. There's no video. Oh my gosh, no, there's no video. Holy cow!
Yes, there's no video because it's a replay of last week's episode. So if you
Well,
want to
the last
listen,
2 weeks
just
have been-
replay the video.
The last 2 weeks were kind of weird because the 1 week was the whole. Oh, that's right.
Yes,
The video was a rerun. The show wasn't a rerun.
exactly.
I forgot how that got
There
screwed up.
was there was confusion in on the technical aspect of things. The intern made a mistake. They have been since reprimanded and forced to
Beaten,
manual labor. They made a fatal mistake when they were labeling the digital files that Ron Phillips gets that he loads onto the radio player, and the radio player didn't pick the file names because they were labeled incorrectly.
So, just in case someone wants to write us out to HR, we did
Yeah.
take the intern to the pit of despair. We sucked 3 years from their life, and it was very satisfying. It was. We asked them for posterity's sake, how they felt, and they said, So,
We felt good about it.
favorite
We're
movie. I thought it was
magnanimous. We're
it was a
magnanimous that way.
it was justified. It was okay.
I think so. All right, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a great Saturday. And keep safe. Bye.